This is the parsha I can tell over my favorite story. I've said it before, but every time it's like, wow. Before Corona, anyone who went to the burial site of the holy Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he would probably see an older Jew sitting outside the entrance. He was a little drunk and he was very talkative. Anyone who knew him liked him very much, and anyone who didn't know him, they just thought he was a homeless person with nowhere to go. Well, he passed away during Corona, and someone told the following story about him. He was actually a fine young man growing up. He was learning in yeshiva when it came time to look for a wife. He was introduced to a wonderful young girl from a very good family, and they got engaged. The next day, the new bride's cousin came to visit, and he heard about the engagement. He asked, so who's the guy? Where's he from? Well, she told him the name, and he knew who it was. They happened to learn together in yeshiva once upon a time. Well, he had a very unimpressed expression on his face, and he said one word, "Nu," as if to say, okay, nothing special. That was it, one word, but it was enough to plant a seed. From there, the family started making phone calls, but it didn't matter what they heard. The Kala felt she could do better. She broke the engagement. This young man never recovered from the pain. He never managed to get his life back on track. And he spent his last years with the Holy Tzaddik, Rabbi Shimon, and the faithful Jews that come to him for relief. We see in this week's Parsha the punishment of leprosy, tzoras, which came from talking bad about someone, embarrassing them, or causing arguments and machlokes. The Torah goes through a lengthy explanation of different scenarios of going to the Kohen and how he identified a leprous mark so he can decide whether to isolate the person. But in the end, every case was decided by one word from the Kohen, tahor or tameh, pure or impure. Even if everybody could see that this is 100% tzoras, leprosy, it didn't matter. Nothing happened without that declaration from the Kohen. It's obvious what Hashem is teaching us with this whole process. Everyone knows it's bad to speak about others, but seeing that one word has such a demoralizing effect on a person, isolating him from his family and his community, that's a much greater lesson. But the unspoken, the hidden lesson is how one word of appreciation, that also has an impact on everyone, even Hashem. Have a great Shabbos.